Section 7.2, Right Triangle Trigonometry. Recall the Pythagorean theorem. It says that the sum of the squares of the two legs of a right triangle is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. So if I label my sides here A, B, and C, we know that A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Now if we label this angle as the Greek letter theta, in reference to this angle, side A is opposite this angle because this angle opens up to the side A. So I'm going to label this the opposite. And in reference to this angle theta, B is the adjacent side. So it's not the side that it opens up to, it actually makes up one of the sides of this angle theta. So B is the adjacent side. And then we know that C is the hypotenuse, the side opposite the right angle. So now the trigonometric functions of acute angles. There are 6 trigonometric functions, or trig functions we like to abbreviate. So we've got sine, cosine, tangent, and we abbreviate sin, cos, and tan. Cosecant, secant, and cotangent. So cosecant is CSC, secant is SEC, and cotangent is COT. The sine of theta is the ratio of the opposite side to the hypotenuse. So opposite over hypotenuse. And then cosecant of theta is just the reciprocal of sine. So if sine is opposite over hypotenuse, then cosecant is hypotenuse over opposite. So these are reciprocals. Okay, now cosine of theta. Cosine is the ratio of the adjacent side to the hypotenuse. And then secant is the reciprocal of cosine, so instead of adjacent over hypotenuse, it's going to be hypotenuse over adjacent. So once again, these are the reciprocals. So these basic 3 trig functions, these are the other 3 are the reciprocals. So the reciprocal of cosine is secant. And then the third one here is tangent of theta. Tangent is the ratio of the opposite side of the acute angle to the adjacent. So then cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent. So the reciprocal of this would be adjacent over opposite. To help us remember all of these trig functions, this mnemonic is useful. SOHCAHTOA, S-O-H-C-A-H-T-O-A. So the S, the C, and the T, sine, cosine, tangent. So I'll use the abbreviation sine, cosine, tangent. So sine is the ratio of the opposite to the hypotenuse, the opposite side of the hypotenuse. So the O is opposite. I'll just abbreviate OPP. And I'll abbreviate hypotenuse, HYP. Then we know that cosine is the ratio of the adjacent side to the hypotenuse. So the A is the adjacent, and the H is the hypotenuse. And then the opposite over adjacent is the tangent. So O is opposite, adjacent is the A. So this is very, very useful to help keep these first 3 straight. And then you just know that if I do the reciprocal of sine, I get cosecant. If I get the reciprocal of cosine, I get secant. And if I get the reciprocal of tangent, I get cotangent. So you really only need to learn these 3 basic ones and then flip them over, get the reciprocals for the remaining 3.